on from campus. Young people like a hot from campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection, yeah, that's a one now. Yeah, walk on from campus. How we are carrying hot from campus. Come on, tell me walk one. Campus connection.
All right, all right. Welcome, welcome, welcome everyone to Campus Connection. It is another lovely, lovely Tuesday afternoon, and I am your host, Anesta Samuels, and missing today, Sniffles, is my co-host, Jonathan Fletcher, but trusting that this will be an awesome show nonetheless. We have a very, very special episode for you all today. We're talking about security with humanity. This is a very special edition of Campus Connection because we're dealing with some of the effects and just how we are managing as a nation post Hurricane Melissa. So, we're looking at the post Hurricane Melissa case management. And of course, Campus Connection is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And of course, they are your partners in peace, bringing you safety with humanity. So let's hear a word from them now, and then we'll be right back.
Project Rock, we're rocking with that. Project Rebuild, overall and construct. The security force, yeah, we're looking at that. Better surroundings for a better state of mind. New vehicle mobilization, help secure our nation. Investing in facilities for modernization. It's rehabilitation, relieving frustration. Not just for the folks, but for the citizens, them say what? Project Rock.
Building today for a safer tomorrow. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
And again, we do apologize for just a slight change in our topic. We know we did advertise a different topic or subject of discussion for today, but nonetheless, it will still be an awesome time here as we share we have some very special guests who are coming up in our discussion segment. We have Mr. Walter Dunbar, a case manager at the Ministry of National Security and Peace, along with some students from the St. Catherine High School. We have Ms. Kazare White, the student council president, and Mr. Nathaniel Anderson, the vice president of the Heritage Club there at St. Catherine. And they're going to be just sharing with us in our post Hurricane Melissa case management in action segment. And before we even get there, though, we're going to be talking a little bit with our creative block feature, Miss Ashwani Johnson. And she is a writer, but she's also a translator. And we have for you, of course, our education news and bulletin, I Chose Christ feature, which is our testimony feature coming up in the show. So there's so much that we have in store for you. And we definitely want you to stick and stay with us as we go through this episode. It's going to be a good one, guys. So right now we're jumping to our education news and bulletin, which will be read by Camille Lawrence. She's a campus consultant, and she'll have the news and bulletin for us now.
Education news and bulletins for Tuesday, January 20, 2026. Youth in the West to be equipped with construction skills through Bridge Initiative. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. the Honorable Dana Morris Dixon, has announced the rollout of a training initiative for youth aimed at supporting recovery efforts in communities severely impacted by Hurricane Melissa. The Building Resilience and Inspiring Development Through Guided Experience Initiative, Bridge, will be implemented through the Heart NSDA Trust in parishes where efforts are underway to repair extensive damage done to buildings during the Category 5 hurricane in October 2025. In her address at the official handover ceremony for the Heart NSDA Trust's Region 1 National Development Project at the Jamaica Society for the Blind in Kingston on Thursday, January 15, Senator Morris Dixon said that the Bridge program will equip 200 unemployed young people from St. Elizabeth, Westmoreland, St. James, and Hanover with practical construction skills through guided work experience on active reconstruction sites. The trainees will receive hands-on instruction in roof repairs, steel fixing, and masonry with support from HEART-certified instructors and visiting technical experts from countries including Rwanda, Ghana, Ethiopia, and Guyana. She noted that while participating in the program, trainees will receive a stipend of $65,000 per month. She also urged the Heart NSTA Trust to ensure that the program is inclusive and accessible to all Jamaicans. She said that special attention should be given as much as possible to members of the disabled community so they can participate in programs of this nature. From classrooms to no careers, Minister bemoans lack of employment opportunities for people with disabilities. Minister of Education, Skills, Youth and Information, Senator Dr. Dana Morris Dixon, is championing a more inclusive Jamaica, pushing for equal access in schools and fair job opportunities for members of the disabled community. Morris Dixon argued that a person's disability should not hinder them from fulfilling their potential as a hardworking citizen and urged employers to be more inclusive when going through the hiring process. She highlighted the lack of employment opportunities for persons with disabilities and said this is unacceptable in a country that promotes inclusivity. She underscored the importance of persons with disabilities knowing the benefits available to them under the law and pointed out that those registered with the Jamaica Council for Persons with Disabilities are eligible for exemption from income tax payments. Senator Morris Dixon also added that special attention has been placed in the education sector surrounding students with disabilities to ensure equal opportunities for all. She admitted that the system is not without flaws and agreed that it requires more effort from the Education Ministry to ensure that all Jamaicans have equal access throughout all stages of life. And now for the bulletins. The Kingston Keswick Convention 2026 presents Youth Explosion, a Youthful Experience under the theme Kingdom People Empowered for Kingdom Expansion, featuring guest artist Audia Spencer Brown along with Jukal Dyer and the Genesis Spray Squad. This Friday, January 23, starting at 7 p.m. at the Boulevard Baptist Church, Washington Boulevard. For more details, call 876-922-7141 or email kingstonkezickja@gmail.com. That's the education news and bulletins for Campus Connection. I am Camille Lawrence.
Thank you so much, Camille, for our education news and bulletin. Now, if you are just joining us, I just wanted to invite you to hop onto our live stream. We are live on Facebook, on YouTube, on TikTok at Love 101 FM Jamaica. And I know we probably haven't had a caller in a while, but I would definitely love to hear from you. Hop onto our studio lines at 876-968-8327 or 876-968-8328. You can also send us a message on WhatsApp at 876-997-3125. Now, here's what we need to know. What do you think are the most common vulnerabilities children are exposed to after the passage of Hurricane Melissa? So what are the things that children are most at risk? In what areas they're most at risk in? And share your thoughts as to what you think needs to be done about those things. We just want to kind of start the discussion before we start the discussion. You know what I mean? So hop onto our live stream. We are live. We'd love to hear from you. We're jumping now to Creative Block, and we have a writer. We have a translator with us on the show today. Her name is Ashwani Johnson, and I really hope I'm saying this right. Ashwani, you can correct me if I'm not. Did I say it right? Okay.
You are saying it right. Thank you so much.
So welcome. Of course, welcome to the show. So I see here you're an author, you're a translator, but you and I have something in common. You might not know this, but we have something in common. You went to the University of the West Indies, Mona. You graduated with a Bachelor of Arts degree in Spanish and media and communications. So was that a double? You did a double major?
I started out as a double major, and then I
Okay.
actually changed media and communications to my minor.
Okay. So
Yeah.
you left us and so Spanish became your major.
Yes.
Okay. Good. So, Ashwani, tell me a little bit about yourself. How did you get here? How did you get to becoming a translator? I mean, I do a little Duolingo every now and then to try and brush up on my Spanish, but you are a far cry from that. How did you get here? What led you to this point?
Wow. So, well, writing started for as long as I can remember, honestly.
Mhm,
I've always liked words, always liked reading. I'd find
mhm,
myself just sitting alone a lot of the times at
mhm.
home, curled up with a book,
Right.
and I would just write things when I got the chance. It came normal to me, like breathing.
Mhm,
And with translating, Spanish is what I specialize in
mm,
regarding translation. And a big part of that translation journey started in high school.
mhm,
I had a teacher named Mrs. Arnold, so
mhm,
wonderful.
mhm,
And what she would do is bring a Spanish book to class
mhm.
and have us read it in Spanish, but you're reading what you're seeing out loud in English. So
Oh, okay.
she'd ask me to do that. And I realized I enjoyed it so much. So
Ah.
then by
Mhm,
the time I started going to UA, continuing with Spanish, it just became, I guess, something, of course, a lot more advanced,
mhm,
but it was something that I still took to as a
mhm,
course that we had to take to complete the components for the major.
mhm. I love that. You know, I'm gonna give you a challenge because you said you love it so much. I'm gonna give you a challenge. So we are gonna go to in about 2 minutes. We're gonna go to a break, right? And I'm preparing you. This is how
Oh,
gracious I am. I'm preparing you
oh,
because we usually jump to a break, but this time I feel that we should do it in Spanish. So I'm going to say, guys, we'll be right back with more Campus Connection, and I'm going to need you to repeat those words in Spanish, right? So just kind of have that in the back of your mind. But I really want to know a little bit more about you though, in terms of you being in the creative field, writing. Most people would say that's not a very fulfilling profession. So what is it about writing that makes you so passionate about this profession?
well, honestly, it is one, knowing who your audience is and actually really liking what you do. So, of course, everyone might not be a J.K. Rowling
Mm,
um, in the creative space. However, it doesn't mean that inspiration doesn't still exist for
yeah.
pretty much anyone out there who want to be a writer.
Mhm.
So for me, I am passionate about children, about youth,
Mm.
especially boys. I feel like the girls get everything. I
What?
feel like the girls get everything. I'm so serious, honest. I really do. And
Ah.
so I would have started off officially
Mhm,
publishing one of my first pieces of work specifically dedicated to boys. So
mhm,
that's a big part of it for me,
mhm,
really knowing your audience, and writing about what you're passionate about to really satisfy that fulfillment
mhm,
component of it,
mhm,
right? Because some people, they are satisfied writing nonfiction, some people love writing fiction. So
mm,
you really just have to find your niche, your little sweet spot for what it is that you would really want to talk about. Some
mm,
people, they might think that they're not a writer, but then if you're a really good storyteller, you could write about just about anything.
mm.
So yeah.
So I I love that. And when we come back from this break, you're gonna have to tell me more about this book, Mr. Beautiful. I'm seeing the photos here, And these amazing photos, by the way. But we're going to do the thing where we jump to the break. So take it away, Ashwani.
Ok, regresamos con mucho más Campus Connection. Hasta luego.
We'll be right back, guys.
This is Love 101 FM, the family station. It's 5:45.
We have to protect the woman and the youths now. Elderly in a fear them get shoot down. You me tired if me tell her not the truth now. This is what we have to do now. Jamaica live good, yeah. I make we enjoy life. What we feel safe at night. Jamaica live good.
A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
You ever hear Earthquake call and say, "Hello, Miss Lee, yes, it's me, Earthquake. I come in Tuesday around 10. No, sir. Earthquake does arrive unannounced. And when it come, it shake all sense and sensibility out of we. Remain calm, stay inside, and do the DCH. Drop, cover, hold on. Once the shaking starts, you know it's earthquake. Make a quick move to a safe place. Don't run to the door, we are in the exit. Stairs might broke up are full of people. Elevator, avoid that because you might get in and poof, power gone, and you're stuck in that box without ear. Drop, cover, hold on.
A message from the Office of Disaster Preparedness and Emergency Management.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price. Yeah.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. It is a lovely Tuesday afternoon. I'm here with Ashwani Johnson. She is a writer, she's a translator, and she just took us to the break in true Spanish style. And I'm excited to just explore more of her work. She has published a book. It's called Mr. Beautiful. And tell us a little bit more about the book and just what people can expect from it.
Okay, all right. So, Mr. Beautiful was a passion project that was born with the birth of my second nephew. So that is what I started calling him, Mr. Beautiful. So it is really something that is a work that's dedicated to him. So one of the things that I recognized when I started looking around in just society in general is how much people have been trying to get men to talk. And there was a quote that I had seen as a child that says, "It is easier to build strong children than it is to repair broken men." So then I thought, this is actually a perfect opportunity to not just help my nephew, but help so many other little boys out there to really provoke that conversation. We tell men don't cry, we tell boys don't cry, we tell them, oh, you shouldn't really talk about things that bother you or any of those things. So this book is supposed to serve as a conversation starter for people who specifically have boy children, right? So it is also an activity book that is supposed to be prompting conversation. So when you ask them, you know, what's your favorite food? What do you like to do? Who are your friends? What is your favorite thing about yourself? Those kinds of things. So it is supposed to be an all-in-one, you know, something to really get the gears of their minds turning, as well as to foster that positive relationship between parent and child.
I feel like, you know, as I'm listening to you, first of all, let me just applaud you. Let me take a moment to applaud you. I feel like this is such a beautiful initiative that I feel like more young people should lean into. We're a generation that likes to consume content. Most of us aren't in the knack of actually creating this type of positive content. And I feel like when we see young people like yourself who are doing the thing, we really ought to applaud it. And so I just wanted to congratulate you on that. And just before we wrap, is there anyone you would like to thank? Or we definitely, listen, we need to bring you back for a full show. So I need you to get with our producer and let us know when you can come back, because we definitely need you back. But is there anyone you'd like to thank just for, you know, what you've been able to achieve so far?
Absolutely. I mean, of course, I really want to thank God for planting this seed in my heart regarding having this vision, any at all. And I also want to thank my family. Like, wow, they really put their shoulders to the wheel with helping me to find a solution regarding this book. Because, fun fact, I actually had everything written from like 2021, and I didn't publish it until last
See,
year,
this is
last
why we
summer.
have to bring you back. This is why.
So they encouraged me to find a solution to all of the problems that I said that I was facing regarding publishing. And
Yeah.
they did. They helped me by publicizing the book once it was published. I had a friend who actually, a family friend who actually volunteered to take the photographs for me. Like
Lovely.
everybody, it was just something so beautiful, not to mention how appreciative my nephew was for it. And I got the chance to participate in my relative's daycare. So I got to share the book with even those children who were there, and they were so precious. They were so
Oh
lovely.
my God.
And
I love it. I love it.
just
Listen,
my
big up
parents, everybody,
Ashwani's village.
everybody.
We just want to big up your village, your whole village.
Absolutely.
But
Absolutely.
yes, we certainly appreciate you coming on. I would love to bring you back for a full show. So as I said, please contact the producer. You know where to find him, and let him know
Yes.
when you can come back on. But we
Not a
certainly
problem.
enjoyed having you. Thank you so much for making it Campus
Thank you
Connect
for
on,
having
and
me.
we wish you all the best.
Thank you so much. All right. Bye.
Love it, love it, love it. You just heard a beautiful testimony slash feature from Ashwani Johnson, writer, translator extraordinaire. And we're jumping now to I Chose Christ, which will be brought to us by Mr. Cleon Morgan. He's a second year student at the University of the West Indies.
Greetings, my name is Clan Morgan and I'm a second year university student. I'm studying a bachelor's degree in geography. Today I'm here to share something with you. So I was in 11th grade getting ready to do my CXCs. So everything was going bad at that time. Like my parents was getting separated, family members passing away, and I was in a depressed state. I wasn't talking to anybody about it. And luckily, my sister saw it and she came to me. We talked about it. We didn't talk about everything, but we talked about it. And she told me to pray about it. That was before I got baptized, right? So I was there praying about it, asking God to deliver me from this, asking Him to help me out in my exams, right? I was studying, nothing was sticking, nothing. I didn't understand anything during my exams, right? So I was just there. I was just literally there studying, trying to study, nothing. I wasn't understanding nothing when I was studying. So I went into my exams. I prayed before and after my exams. So I went to my exams. I did my best. I tried to understand what's on the paper. I did my best. And when the results came, surprisingly, I got all my subjects. I got grade 1s, 2s, and I got a 3. Yes. So I'm really here to say, no matter what happens, just trust God and you'll be all right. You'll be okay. And another thing, a ship doesn't sink because of the water that surrounds it. It sinks because of the water that gets into it. So that means no matter what happens around you, don't let it get into you to bring you down. And another thing also, I choose Christ. You should too.
Okay, where are the campus? When I Christ, we campus.
Yes. Thank you so much, Cleon Morgan, a second year student at the University of the West Indies, bringing us our I Chose Christ feature. And we certainly appreciated that testimony. Just a powerful reminder that God can deliver you from depression, and that's just real. That's just real. So we are jumping now to our discussion segment, which we have some very special guests for you all today. Of course, Campus Connection is brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. And they are your partners in peace, bringing you safety with humanity. And on today's show, we have Mr. Walter Dunbar, a case manager at the Ministry of National Security and Peace. We also have from the Student Council, so we have a Student Council president with us, Miss Kazare White. I really hope I'm saying your name right. Please let me know. We also have Mr. Nathaniel Anderson, Vice President of the Heritage Club, and they're both from St. Catherine High School, and they'll be joining us on this discussion. So welcome, lady and gentlemen, to the show. Thank you so much for being on. How are you guys feeling today?
Thank you for having me. I'm feeling great. How are you?
I'm doing good. I'm doing good. Nathaniel, how are you? Mr. Wait, let me just double. Is he on? Mr. Dunbar, are you there with us?
I am here. Good afternoon. Are you hearing me?
Lovely, lovely. Yes, we can hear you.
Oh.
Nathaniel, how you doing?
Good afternoon. I'm feeling blessed and highly favored to be here.
All right, all right, all right. Love it, love it, love it. So we're talking about security with humanity. And this is a post-Hurricane Melissa case management in action episode, right? And just to give everyone an overall sense of why we're doing this, why we're talking about this. When communities were shaken and lives disrupted following the aftermath of Hurricane Melissa, case managers from the Ministry of National Security and Peace stood as pillars of resilience, pillars of compassion that became the bridge between the urgent need and the lasting recovery. They were able to walk side by side with families, listening to their stories and ensuring that no one was left behind. Now, as you know, there's so much negative trauma, there's so much aid that's needed, and the Ministry of National Security and Peace was able to distribute aid, offer guidance, and help individuals. And that's why we want to really go behind the scenes with them today to understand more about how they managed this case called Hurricane Melissa, and just the aftermath of that, right? So we're definitely talking with Mr. Dunbar, just kind of getting some feedback from him on that. But I would love to hear from our students from St. Catherine High School as well. So let me just start out, guys, by asking you even the question that we are asking on our social media. What do you think are the most common vulnerabilities that children are exposed to after Hurricane Melissa? I'm going to throw this question to Kazare.
Okay. I think the main risk is the disruption in education, which means that there's a huge, temporary, close to permanent close with the education system. The schools are being facilitated as shelters. Students have little to no homes. And I feel like this huge disruption causes a lot of stress, and the students, it's like a crazy mental state that they're currently in. So I feel like education is one of the highest risk right now for them, and I really hope everything will go back to normal or close to normal for them eventually.
Yes. I definitely agree. And with people on board like the Ministry of National Security and Peace, we definitely will see that happening. We're jumping now to a quick break, guys, but when we return, we will hear more on this topic. So stay with us.
Jamaica, yeah, good, yeah. I make we Jamaica, stop the killing and give up the guns. Just live good now.
The time brought to you by the Ministry of National Security and Peace is
6 o'clock. I just never did I get through with no work, I did I get desperate. Till one day I see one ad, but I want somebody for work at a massage parlor. Trust me, the place was nothing like them advertised. From the very first day, I had to be giving much more than massages.
Verify the legitimacy of job advertisements with the Ministry of Labor and Social Security. To report suspected cases of human trafficking, call the nearest police station 119 or 888 Protect. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
Okay, where are the campus heights? Students are strapped up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. If you're just joining us, we're in our final segment, but it promises to be a very enriching one, an enriching discussion nonetheless. Of course, it's brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace, who are your partners in peace, bringing you safety with humanity. Now, I want to just acknowledge Mr. Dunbar, a case manager at the Ministry of National Security and Peace. Now, you're aware that case managers, social workers within the ministry play a pivotal role in violence prevention and rehabilitation, with a special focus on at-risk youth. And I just want to hear from you. Could you give us an overview of what the role of a case manager is? Because even just help us to understand what they do within the ministry.
All right. So thank you very much for having me. Thanks to your listeners also. So to begin, I want to say that, a lot of us tend to look at the Ministry of National Security and Peace and just believe that, as it says in its name, it's national security. So we're talking about policing. But it's much more than. And with the Ministry of National Security and Peace aspect, it is where we are ensuring that a holistic approach is taken to reduce crime and violence within our respective communities within the country. So as it is relating to case management and us as case managers, what we work with respective clients and their families to ensure that they would have reduced certain behaviors that are not considered normal within society. And one of our key intervention programs that we look at is the motivational mentorship. It is a strategic directed set of sessions that we have with these children and their parents to ensure that they reduce the respective negative behaviors that they may be displaying, whether within the home, within the community, or within the school setting. So let's say, for instance, we're dealing with a child who has an anger challenge. Yes? As I said, it is targeted and it is specific. So the first thing we need to know from them, what do they understand anger to be? What are their triggers? What goals are they looking now to change certain things? So we are going through the process with them. And it is not a one-size-fits-all for anyone, because every individual, every family is different. And that's what we have to ensure that these are tailor-made sessions. So while we will have a broader anger and anger management session, it is based upon how these individuals and their family members react to the situation. That's how the intervention process goes on. Yes. So we also, as case managers, we look at programs, we design the specific programs to and implement them to ensure that at-risk youth and youth offenders, yes, are engaged. So vocational training programs, tuition support, employment opportunities. We are the advocates to ensure that we're not just going to throw people in there. You know, they tend to talk about they throw you in the water and you swim and you have to swim on your own. No. We advocate for the process. We broker the process between the respective organizations that can take them on. We work with these individuals, providing life skills and such to ensure that when they are going within the workspace, their cultural behavior would be changed, because they say, what you do at home is different from what you do within the workspace. And we have to ensure that we have them continually employed, right? We also look on different strategies to ensure that we tackle the root cause of crime, right? Violence prevention programs, social intervention programs. You would, your lovely sponsor, the Live Good campaign. We go out in schools and we ensure that children are aware of the different strategies they can take to not fight it out, but talk it out. Who to talk to, who are the best persons that they can speak with to ensure that they are not getting themselves involved in crime and violence. And we also do home visits, because as such, not to go to people's homes and ask in their business, but to really see the dynamics. Because sometimes these children, they behave a particular way at school, and you will have parents come to school and say, but I don't know, this is a different person. Who is this person? They don't get trouble at home. So we do the home visits. We have conversations with the parents, because what we want to ensure is that behavior, that link that we're trying to develop within the school and within the home, that it is, there is a homostasis behavior. So everything is working according to plan. So the behavior that is at home is the behavior that is at school, is the behavior that is in the community. And we do family therapy, anger management sessions within the schools, and we also engage the communities, because a safe community also brings a safe individual.
So what I'm hearing, it sounds like a very, as you said, holistic approach. You're not just looking at one area. And I find this interesting, because I know, Nathaniel, maybe you could speak to this. You are with us, you are a vice president of a club and society in your school. And if you could just share with us, help us to understand some of the displacements that have been caused by Hurricane Melissa, how families have been affected, just based on what you are hearing from your fellow students. I remember to unmute your microphone there, Nathaniel. Okay, it seems we're having some technical issues with Nathaniel. How about you, Kazare? I would love to hear your thoughts on this in terms of what are you seeing as some of the actual challenges that students and their families are experiencing that could be looked at by organizations like the Ministry of National Security and Peace, the caseworkers that were mentioned? What are some of the challenges that you're seeing?
Well, post Hurricane Melissa, there has been multiple students that has had challenges with their homes, meaning they might have destructions to their homes or road blockages that had disrupted them from attending school when school was supposed to be open. That is when Miss Dana Morris said that school was supposed to be reopened back. Some would have stayed in shelters due to this. Also, some were also in a very bad mental space. This was one of the main things that had happened at school that led to us having counseling session for students, because it was between them worrying about their families in the West or them having survivor's guilt. And I feel like this is something that the ministry themselves can help the students with. So these were most of the issues that we would have faced on campus for the students.
Absolutely. And Mr. Dunbar, being that so many families were displaced by the passage of the hurricane, tell us a little bit, because I know you have been doing a lot, your ministry has been doing a lot. Tell us a little bit more about just how the mode of operation and service delivery has changed for the case management unit there at the ministry.
Certainly. So we know for sure, as was just discussed by my colleague here, that there are some challenges, grave challenges, as it is relating to the displacement of persons, families within the country because of the hurricane, right? We also know that at this particular state, we have the vulnerability of children being, looked to be recruited for sexual or labor exploitation. And because of that, we have to ensure that we are working assiduously to correct and mitigate these things. Now, some of these challenges, we continuously face the lack of electricity in some of these communities, the poor cell reception, internet is down in majority of these parishes within the western section. We also know that the hospitality industry, especially for us as case manager, 80% of our adults, the parent population of our clients, they worked in the hospitality industry. So for that, them being laid off, they have those respective frustration and so forth. But I'm happy to say that it was activated right after the hurricane, the Ministry of National Security and Peace, we went out, we gave care packages, relief aid, right? We, as case managers, made sure to go to the spaces that our clients live, whether they were there or not, because we wanted to ensure that, everyone is safe, there were no loss of lives, because we do understand that persons would have been affected directly and indirectly. So we had to go out, we had to ensure that persons were alive, that persons, whatever help they needed, we would have given them. So we would have collected clothing. We are thankful for persons in the other parishes that were not deeply affected. We got clothing from persons in Kingston, donations of tarpaulin, basic living amenities, what Erickson says. You have to satisfy the respective needs, and food, shelter, clothing is right there, and we had to ensure that persons are fed, persons have some form of shelter. So while in the short term we could not rapidly get certain things sorted out, such as build back the houses, we made sure to assist them with those respective amenities like tarps to get them covered, because if we remember, shortly after the hurricane had passed, we had some rain coming in, and we didn't want persons to be getting wet and so forth. So it has changed. We don't just go to the institutions, we go to the communities, we go to where they are. If they're staying with a friend, we visit. If they're staying with different family members, we visit, and we know, some of the spaces, they are accommodated by the church, by other educational institutions. So we make sure to visit, and we provide the necessary assistance.
Absolutely. Absolutely. We do have to just jump to a quick break, Mr. Dunbar. But when we return, we'd love to hear more on the post-Hurricane Melissa case management in action. So we will be right back, everyone. Stick and stay with us right here on Campus Connection.
Kingston Keswick Convention 2026 under the theme Kingdom People Empowered for Expansion at the Boulevard Baptist Church from Sunday, January 18 to Sunday, January 25, with main speaker Reverend Dr. DeVere Nugent, pastor of the East Queen Street Baptist Church. Listen live on Love 101 FM on Sunday, January 18, Thursday, January 22, and Sunday, January 25 from 8 p.m. to 9 p.m. and on Saturday, January 24 for a men's gathering from 8:30 a.m. to 9 a.m. Join Love 101 FM's social media platforms for the full nightly services from 7 p.m. to 9 p.m. That's the Kingston Keswick Convention 2026, Sunday, January 18 to Sunday, January 25, live on Love 101 FM, the family station.
It's time to enter. Project Rock, we're rocking with that. Project Rebuild, overall and construct. The security force, yeah, we're looking at that. Better surroundings for a better state of mind. New vehicle mobilization, help secure our nation. Investing in facilities for modernization. It's rehabilitation, relieving frustration. Not just for the force, but for the citizens and same one. Project Rock.
Building today for a safer tomorrow. A message from the Ministry of National Security and Peace.
It's time to elevate. Get ready for the Woman Ignite Success Summit 2026, Saturday, January 31, Jamaica, Pegasus, Kingston. 1 full day of dynamic worship and powerful conversations on restoring your mental health, elevating your wealth, business, career, families, and so much more. Featuring from LA, Apostle Stephanie Okafor, mental health expert Brittany Noel, Apostle Mary Wildish, Pastor Sarah Cowan, Prophetess Sarah Smith, and so much more. Woman Ignite Success Summit 2026, January 31. Get tickets at womanigniteja.com, powered by Woman Ignite Foundation, One Group, and other partners.
Okay, where are the campus nights? Students are strapped up in a price.
Welcome back to Campus Connection. We are talking about the very important issue of security with humanity. Specifically, we're talking about our post-Hurricane Melissa case management in action. Campus Connection is, of course, brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. We want to just emphasize that they are your partners in peace, bringing you safety with humanity. And we have with us a case manager at the Ministry of National Security and Peace. His name is Mr. Walter Dunbar. We heard a little bit from him before the break. We also have Ms. Kazare White, the Student Council President at St. Catherine High School, and Mr. Nathaniel Anderson. We're still hoping we'll be able to get him back on. He is having some technical difficulties. But we've been talking a little bit about how since the hurricane, there have been more vulnerabilities for our young people or youth. They are more at risk now more than ever because of the issue of human trafficking even has become something that we are trying to safeguard our children against and raise awareness about human trafficking. And so I wanted to know from you, Kazare, how do you think our youth or young people can protect themselves from the risk of human trafficking?
Well, I think our youth can protect themselves by staying informed and alerted. It's important to be contagious of the strangers. You know, they're always offering money for help, offering to know your location so that they can drop off care packages, or they want to offer you transportation to so and so and so. They want to offer you gifts and jobs. And it can be a little bit too good to be true at times. Therefore, most importantly, if something feels wrong, I think the youth can speak up, even though we know that sometimes our environment can be a little bit, our parents can be a little bit, it's nothing like that. They just want to give a helping hand for us. No. But I think youth should really and truly avoid sharing personal information. If you know somebody wants to reach out to give an helping hand, Ask your parents first, ask a guardian, ask a trusted adult. Say, hey, mommy, is it okay if I can give so and so my location so that they can give a helping hand? Because you know that Hurricane Melissa did so and so to us, or daddy, somebody's going to swing by to give a helping hand post Melissa, or somebody wants to give us a house or a car. No, please, I'm asking you guys, please go to a trusted adult for help. You know that during a time like this, youths are easily the target because social media, the number one thing. So yes.
Absolutely. And those are some sound words. I really hope that we are even more aware now, because of so many people are in need, and there are many who would like to prey upon the needs of our youth, and so we definitely have to keep an eye open for that. So, Mr. Dunbar, from what you have shared so far, I believe it's safe to say that case managers, they serve as vital liaisons, persons who bridge the needs of their clients, but not just their clients, the communities, the resources of the government, to ensure that they can deliver the support that is needed for recovery and empowerment. So, if you will, tell us how case managers can do even more to advocate for their clients, to ensure that these government programs that are being put on by the ministry are tailored to meet the actual needs of their clients, and even to meet the needs of the communities at large.
Yes, thank you. In pointing that out, I have to just go back a little and just indicate what we have been doing, a little further, because again, we do not work in silo, and we do not work in a vacuum. We also partner with other ministries, agencies, and departments. So we would have partnered with Ministry of Labor and Social Security when they were seeking assistance to do those damage assessments to identify the needs, because yes, we do need to get back persons in their houses. We do need to have persons, going back to some level of where they were before. We know it's going to take time, but we made sure to go out. We were on the road, working to ensure that we do those assessments, that they can go in as quickly as possible. We partnered with Ministry of Education to ensure that our clients are notified, they're aware of what is going on, whether school is going to be opening on a phase basis or staggered basis, what the curriculum would look like. Because again, we would have, through COVID, we would have gone to work online. Now, during Melissa, we do not have online because we do not have internet connection. So we had to make sure to, in that partnership, to take that information to them so they would not lose this valuable knowledge that, the hurricane would have paused them on. We are happy to say that as a ministry, the Ministry of National Security, I think would have distributed 3,500 food and hygiene packages. We want to do more, but with all the other ministries, all the other private entities that are giving out and so forth, we're happy to say that we were able to play a role within this process. Right? We would have launched the Disaster Recovery Relief Committee, and this is put in place to ensure that the coordination, monitoring, and support from a ministry-led recovery action is taking place across the ministry's portfolio. So again, people think that it is only crime prevention, but if you recognize, ladies and gentlemen, we're also ensuring that when natural disasters, when disasters like this take place, we are there to ensure that persons are assisted.
Love it. Love it. Love it.
Psychological, social first aid, we offer it to individuals, we offer it to families, because
Yes.
the mental state of mind must be working.
Yes.
Especially where parents are concerned. We have seen in the news week before last week in Hanover, the superintendent in charge was saying that, domestic violence is going on the increase because persons do not have any work. We have ensured ourselves that we're out there. We are working with these families, because we do understand people get frustrated when they do not know where the meal is coming from. So we are out, we are working, we are ensuring that persons understand. But again, we love the resilience of our people in the
absolutely. And I love that, Mr. Dunbar, the fact that you brought so much awareness to, it's not just crime prevention that's being done by the ministry, but this is a part of the work too, is that recovery, helping us as a nation to recover and
helping others while we're helping ourselves.
Absolutely. And I feel like this is that ties in with that safety, with humanity, gesture, because so many people don't see this side of the ministry's work. So thank you for bringing light to that. I do want to, I see we have Nathaniel on, and I'm hoping that his connection is a little bit more stable, because I do want to find out from you, Nathaniel, how you have been able to process just the vulnerabilities that students, young people are now exposed to. Would you say there is a need for your peers to volunteer, for people overall to volunteer? And what are some of the areas that they need to volunteer in?
Absolutely. I would still encourage my peers to volunteer, because our communities need the assistance after a disaster such as Hurricane Melissa. But it's important to do this so safely, in a manner where organized programs follow guidance and from adults and authorities, and look out for one another. Volunteering is a way we can help out each other and learn responsibility and protect each other at the same time. Some elements are ways in which the persons can assist individuals in this manner is just they need psychological help, because in this time, Hurricane Melissa has done a large mass of impact on the Western parishes. So students need psychological impact after this this natural disaster.
Right. And thank you for that, Nathaniel. Absolutely. I definitely want to encourage students who might even be going into exams, based on everything that's said. There's so much. I don't know, Kazare, would you like to, we do have to wrap in a few seconds, but would you like to just give a word of encouragement to our students who are facing exams right now?
Absolutely. So, guys, if you're watching this, I want you guys to know that as you're about to sit your exams, sit it in faith, whether your teacher was present, was not present, whether you understood in class, you did not understand, whether you're studying on your own. Just know that once you have God in the midst of everything that you're doing, you will definitely not fail. So therefore, go for it, sit your exams in the name of Jesus, and you will succeed. So I hope you all do great on your exams.
All right. Thank you so much to all of you. Thank you so much to you, Kazare White, Nathaniel Anderson, and of course, Mr. Dunbar from the Ministry of National Security and Peace, for just shedding some light on what the post-Hurricane Melissa recovery efforts are. Thank you guys for making it Campus Connection, and I wish you all the best. And that's all the time we have for today, everyone. I trust that you've enjoyed the show. I trust that you certainly learned something that you can take to be a light in your community, on your campus. I want to say a very special thank you to our production team, to Jermaine Johnson, Nicu Angus, Shania Smith, Daniel Cox, and David Sutton. Thank you so much to Ruth Lawrence, Eden Palmer, Camille Lawrence, and Raquel Robertson. To all of our guests across all the segments, thank you all for being with us on this show today. And that's it for Campus Connection, which is proudly brought to you by the Live Good Anti-Violence Campaign from the Ministry of National Security and Peace. Your partners in peace, bringing you safety with humanity. See you next week as we explore more things Wagwan on campus.
Here to the Family Radio broadcasting from Kingston, Jamaica. We're Love 101 FM. The time is now 6:30.